What is happening, guys? Scotty Plays here, bringing you another Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel video. And in today's video, we're going to be doing this week's meta report. So this is going to be for the week of 11, or November 7th through November 13th, as per usual. And this week's tournament results were actually fairly interesting, considering what I anticipated, given the past few weeks, given the new set, so on and so forth. But I was pleasantly surprised to look at some of these different tournament results. So without further ado, let's jump right on in with the first one. This is going to be the Hay Cup 37. We had 31 players, single elim, one deck, best of one before semifinals, then best of three for semifinals and finals, as per usual with them. The winning deck was an Adamancipator list. Nothing too crazy here, It looks fairly standard, manning the reboot and the harpies because, you're best of one for a lot of the tournament. It makes sense. Nothing too crazy here. Second place, we got a Floowandereeze. We got 4 tributes, only 3 hand traps. Got some, more going second cards. Got some weird stuff in here. Top share, reveal 1 card from your deck and place it on the top of your deck. Then your opponent reveals 1 card of their deck and place it on top of their deck. You can only activate 1 top share per turn. Interesting. It's probably not very good, but I guess it's interesting. I don't know. Very consistent. They're going for, this is basically, a 34 card deck, just hyper consistent with the dualities. That's pretty cool. I don't understand this, but I like the rest of the list. It's pretty cool. They are playing a lot of birds. But anyways, moving on. No one wants to see Flu. Another Adamancipator in top 4. That's actually pretty impressive. 2 in the top 4 for this tournament. 1 Droll, weird. 1 Nibiru. I guess that might be for cross out, but that's a little strange. Okay. Nice. And then top 4, Floowandereeze. Okay, so we got 2 Flu and 2 Adamancipator in the top 4 here. That's very diverse. Same thing, a lot of birds. It's playing 7 hand traps this time around. 8 hand traps. 1 Max C, 1 Imperm. That's super strange. You could make the argument that's for cross out, but this deck doesn't lose to Max C, so that's not a thing. This deck does get hit by Imperm, but still, that's really weird. But okay, it's kind of strange. 3 tributes, only 1 Imp in though. Okay, I don't even know what this thing does. Leerlusk, Promenade Thrush. 2 level 1 monsters gains 500 attack for each material attached to it. Once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card, then target 1 spell trap card your opponent controls. Shuffle it into the deck. At the start of the damage step, if another monster you control battles, you can detach any number of materials from this card. That monster you control gains 300 attack for each material detached until the end of the turn. That's interesting. I'm surprised you're playing multiple of this over just more Nightingales. But, okay. Anyways, moving on to the next tournament. I apologize that I don't know the name of this tournament. But, yeah. This is this 11/8, so it was just hosted on November 8th, I'm assuming. Sorry for the ads down here. Don't pay attention to that stuff. This one had 33 players, single elim, 1 deck, best of 1. So this is basically just like a tournament designed for what is good on ladder. The winning deck was a virtual world. Playing the 12-13 virtual worlds, really the 12 because these are all the extender ones. Or these are all the starters / extender kind of ones. That's not how they really are, but these ones get your plays going. This one just you dump out of your deck. They're playing Plasma and D-Force and Break the Destiny. This is weird. Okay, I mean, that's fine. I'm surprised they're playing like that because a deck like this doesn't really need to establish something like a Destiny or a Plasma. I mean, it's good if you can establish any deck that can play Plasma, that can establish it with the D-Force. It's really strong, but there's really, I don't know if there's a need for it, but more power to him, I suppose. Venture stuff. Okay. No Max C's is a little weird. It is best of 1, so I guess you don't want to lose to Flunder. Second place, we had an Adventure Phantom Knight with some dangers here. Very heavy extension engine going on here. A lot of extenders, not a lot of hand traps. It's kind of the trade-off they decided to make. And, yeah, okay. Got some Twin Twisters. It's the best of 1. It makes sense. The droplet makes sense. Nothing too crazy. Moving on, we got a branded Despia. This looks like a bit of a more standard list. It doesn't look like there's an Allure. There is no Allure of Darkness. There's some this is just a hand trap Despia list. This looks pretty standard. I mean, you're playing Lightning Storms because it's a best of one. Makes sense. I'm surprised you're not playing Droplet, or Super Poly. That's a little strange. Yeah, okay, moving on. Oh, they're playing a heavy package of links. They're playing the Verte, the Striker, and the Anima. So this is if you open Tragedy plus Branded in red. It's actually really good because you can just normal summon the Tragedy, link off into this, or like a Link Karibo, and then just Branded in red back. And you can get like a Masquerade or something on your board, and you can get your Aliber search. You can search a Aliber for next turn for follow-up, so it's not too bad. Striker, same thing. This is just like Albaz plus Brandon Red is just a Mirror Jade, so it's pretty clean. It's gained some popularity recently, but not too much. This deck was really cool. I think I want to test a deck like this out. This is awesome. This is like, I just called it Water Combo. I don't know what a better name for it would be, but it's basically just like an old Halki Fibrax turbo deck that doesn't play Halki Fibrax anymore. So now it just turbos out Auroradon, and it plays Union Carrier and just a lot of like crazy stuff. It plays all the synchro stuff. It's so weird. These cards are both banned in the OCG and TCG, but not here. That's so strange. But anyways, that's not important. This deck's awesome. I wish I knew exactly. I mean, I have an idea of how this deck works, but I wish I could see this deck in action because I want to play something like this because it's really cool. It's basically a rank 7 turbo deck. You can go into the Galaxy Tomahawk super easy, get into the Auroradon, and then get into your Cupid Pitch combos. And it's really clean. I'm honestly surprised they're not playing like a small Tenyi package, maybe some Vishudas or something like that, because the Vishudas can help you go second. So yeah, honestly, after seeing this, I'm considering building this deck. So if you guys would be interested in seeing a deck like this on the channel, please let me know, and I'll work on it. I don't know how fast I'll be able to get it out because it does look fairly expensive. It's not that bad, but it does look a little expensive. But I'll get to working on it. All right, moving on to the China Master Duel, Tiba Weekly number 28. I hope that's how you say it. We had 71 players, 6-round best of 1 Swiss into best of 3 top 16, one deck, 15 card side deck, pretty standard for them. The top 16 breakdown was, we had 2 Swordsoul Tinnys, 2 Pendulum Magicians, 2 Virtual World, 2 branded Despia. One of them is like a fairy, angel branded. That's like fairies. 1 Code Talker, 1 Tri-Zoo, 1 Subterror, 1 Altergeist, 1 Floowandereeze, 1 Adamancipator, 1 branded Shaddoll, 1 Infernoid. And the winning deck was branded Shaddoll. It's pretty cool. It's like a 60 card pile deck. I talked about this deck last week because we saw it also do very well in one of these tournaments. It might be the same player. I'm not sure. I can't remember, but it's basically just a grass deck. They are not going with a much heavier Despia package, honestly. It's kind of surprising. I'm surprised you're not playing 3 Tragedies in a deck like this because... And also, you're not playing the Edgem stuff. That's kind of crazy because Edgem's really good with the Shaddolls and the Despia stuff, but, I guess it makes sense if you're kind of prioritizing grass, I suppose. But anyways, I'm surprised you're not playing more Tragedies because sending this off of Shaddoll Fusion or off of Grass or Foolish or whatever it might be, branded opening, you get a lot of value out of that. So I'm kind of surprised they're not doing it. They're also playing that's kind of crazy. They're playing the emergency teleport for like the Windy or for the Gamma when... Oh, they also have the Aerial. Aerial's also... Is those the only Psychics? I'm pretty sure they are. Oh, you can't even summon this off of E-Tally. It's a level 4. Okay. It's interesting. It's a really cool list. I like it a lot. I like this deck. I think this deck's really cool. I think this deck is going to be absolutely insane when we get tier elements, though. So that is something to look forward to. That is fun, depending on how you look at it, I guess. Side deck stuff, nothing too crazy. There's siding, this makes sense. Siding super pods. If you're not going to main them, you should side them. Just a bunch of like good stuff in general. Okay, pretty cool. Something I will note, you're siding a pointer in a 60 card deck. That's really bold. I think it's kind of crazy to side deck going first cards in 60 unless you side deck a lot of them. But, more power to you. Second place was that Fairy branded Despia list. This is a really cool deck. Basically, if you can send like the Ava and stuff off of branded Fusion, you just get a lot of value out of it. You can abuse Herald of Orange Light. Herald of Orange Light has a lot of synergy because it, like, Tragedy's a fairy, Comedy's a fairy, Albaz is a fairy, or Alibur's a fairy. All the Despia guys are fairies in the main board. Not branded, not Fawn of Albaz. This is a dragon, but it's really cool because these are all fairies. You're not going to get effects. Like, you're not going to get Tragedy's effect if you send it off Orange Light. But despite that, you can still, like, you know, kind of abuse just a really, really powerful hand trap with cards like this. So it's really nice. And it also doesn't really hurt you too much. Like, let's say hypothetically you go Branded Fusion, send Albaz and Ava, and you're able to use Ava's effect to banish a few cards to get a search. You're able to search out the Diviner, search out the Herald of Orange Light. You know, obviously you're going to have to do some setup to get to that point, but whatever it might be. But you can add the Orange Light and the Diviner. And then, if you were able to get a Tragedy search that turn, getting the ad lib into your hand, I know this is all really hypothetical, but it's a hypothetical game state. But if you're able to get the ad lib to your hand, you can just send the ad lib off the Herald of Orange Light and then just add it back with a Branded in red during your end phase, if you decide to do that, or on your opponent's turn if you decide to set it. So it's really clean. There's a lot of really cool applications with this stuff, and this is something that I tested very little in the beginning of Despia's life cycle, because I was like, well, there's just a lot of fairies here, right? So Herald of Orange Light's got some natural synergy, and it's just a light, and it's an insane card. But I personally came to the conclusion that it wasn't that amazing, but their list is a lot more focused on it. I wasn't playing like the Diviner and the Trias thing and the Ava and stuff like that, so it's very cool. Sorry for my rants. I just think this is a very cool deck, and when I see something like this, I want to talk about it. It's really awesome. But nothing too insane in the sideboard, anything like that. Moving on, we got a top 4 Virtual World, Adventure Virtual World. This looks a little bit more standard. They're not playing the Plasma stuff. They're playing, 3/6 hand traps, 7 hand traps. I guess you kind of consider this a hand trap. It's not really a hand trap. It's a going first or going second card, but it's not a hand trap. 7, going second cards. Not bad. This deck goes second very well, so it's not really a big deal to play that many. But I mean, the more the merrier, right? Yeah, nice, interesting. Utopia Beyond and the extra, and the Dragonlock Parry. And this card's really cool, actually. Basically, you can target a level 5 or lower monster in your graveyard, special summon it. During your standby phase, you can detach one material from this card. You can target one level 5 or lower monster in your graveyard, special summon. You can only use the effect of this guy once per turn. Basically, the Scythe locks, right? So, it's really cool. Really, really cool. Playing the Guy Charger. Interesting. And they're playing a lot of weird stuff. They're playing the Geomath Mech. I guess it's not weird, but not super standard either. The Wind Kaiju, that is for Floowandereeze, by the way. They're also citing the Necro Valley and the Zombie World, because it's really easy to get in this deck. And the Token Collector, you only need to side one of these because you can just send all that stuff off Beatrice. So, I still think 3 Token Collector is probably correct going second into Swordsoul, but, it worked for them. That's cool. Then we got a Branded Despia here. This is a bit more standard, I would say. It's a lot of hand traps. We got 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 hand traps. Playing a lot of hand traps. Also playing 3 Albions, so you're playing a very consistent deck at 40 cards. You're not playing Super Polys, you're not playing any of that stuff. So, very clean, very nice list. I like the Branded High Spirits. I think this card's absolutely awesome. Nadir Servant's a little strange because it locks you out of, fusion summoning for this whole turn, which I guess if you end your turn on this, it's not that bad, and it saves your Mirror Jade effect for next turn, so you can get more interruptions, but yeah, it's pretty cool. And if you're wondering, the construct is for the Branded High Spirits. If you open if you open a Tragedy or something, and you want a Branded High Spirits, that you need to have a fairy in the extra deck, and construct is the most apt one of those, because these are both fiends. But anyways, moving on to the next tournament, we got the Third Eye Weekly 33. Yeah, I did talk about how many players were there. We got 33 players, single elim, 1 deck, 15 card side deck, best of 3. Top 8 breakdown. We have 2 Branded Despia, 1 Pen Magician, 1 Marincess, 1 Tri-Brigade Scareclaw, glad to see it. 1 Dragon Link, 1 Madolche, and 1 Swordsoul Tenyi. First place was a Branded Despia. This is a no hand trap list. This is just a super turboed out Allure build. This guy, he always plays the same deck, and he plays really well with it. He beat me in the Meta Weekly last week. Just absolutely destroyed me. Honestly, resolving Allure on Mercurier or Tragedy feels so good, especially on Mercurier, because you go Allure, banish Mercurier, draw 2, banish Mercurier. Mercurier effect, add the Albion from your deck to your hand. Albion effect, send the Branded Sword. Branded Sword effect activates to add the Mercurier back to your hand, so that it makes your Branded Fusion, not your Branded Fusion inherently, but the Fusion summon that you bring out off of it, play around hand traps and disruptions way better, because you instantly have a Mercurier in your hand just to protect yourself. And this is not this is a once per turn effect, but both effects are once per turn. So you can use both, unlike Tragedy, which you can only use one. So it's really clean. That play is so nice. And yeah, it's really, really solid. And you're playing the Gold Sark for hyper consistency. It's 42 cards. I'm surprised you're at 42 cards. You're not at 40 when you're going for such a consistent list. But, it works. This deck plays into boards very well. It plays around stuff very well, and the side deck is pretty cool as well. You're siding the Winda, the Necro World, the Necro Banshee, the Zombie World, Dark Rulers, just for going second stuff. Obviously, the Evenly Matched, the Red Reboot. It's a very cool list. Very good, well-rounded list. Love to see it. Second place, we got a Pendulum Magician. We got 6 hand traps. They're going for the FTK with the. Oh no, they're not going for the FTK. Okay, that's pretty cool. I actually don't know what this thing does. Patishiel Covertrue. I'm sorry, I'm terrible at reading, but I do not know how to say that. This is a level 5 Fairy Pendulum Fusion effect monster. It's a dark, it's a 1 scale. Pendulum effect. If you have no cards in your other Pendulum zone, you can place 1 face-up Pendulum monster from your extra deck in your Pen zone. That's really cool. You can only use this effect once per turn. And then, if this card in your monster zone is destroyed, you can place this card in your Pen zone. That's really, really good, because you just instant fusion, bring this guy out, and then during the end phase, it just gets popped, or you pop it with something, and it just goes to your Pendulum zone, so it's kind of follow-up. That's really cool. But I'm surprised you're not playing the FTK cards. But yeah, anyways, that does not matter. They're not playing Beyond the Pendulum? What? Is this new? This is new. Why are you not playing Beyond the Pendulum? What? Okay, I don't have an answer for why they're not, but I think Beyond the Pendulum should be in the list. But anyways, they also signed Triple Apex Avion. That's hilarious. Top 4, we got Shadow Master with the Tri-Brigade Scareclaw. This actually beat me. I was a little embarrassed that it beat me until I saw the list. I was like, how did I lose a Scareclaw? Like, what the heck? This deck's not that good. But this deck's actually it's very competent. It's basically a Tri-Brigade deck that just plays the Scareclaw engine because they have synergy together, and it's really strong. It's not bad by any means. This is definitely the best way to play Scareclaw at the moment. He's not playing a big engine, but it gives you access to a lot of different stuff. It gives you access to Baron, Omega, well, that's from the Gamma, and the Herald of Arclight, but that's also because of the Cerberus. But I lost to this guy because I took the Maxi Challenge in Game 3, because I was like, you know what? Screw it. Let me try to OTK when I shouldn't have. But, he had 2 cards. He had 2 cards on his field, no cards in hand after he maxied. And I could not OTK, but I decided to try to anyways. I don't really know what I was doing. But, yeah, very well played to him, getting top 4 with it. It's awesome to see. And, yeah, this deck's really cool. I'm glad it works. You should probably be playing 2 of this, I will say. I think he said that he should be playing 2. He just didn't have to. But it's a very cool list. Love to see it. Top 4, we got a Frog Marincess. Okay, this is interesting. Haven't really seen the frog stuff. This is just for Toad, right? You're just making Toad with this. But I'm surprised you're prioritizing Toad so heavily, because you can make Toad pretty easily in this deck with the Bahamut. Usually, I think people just go with hand traps over the frog stuff, but this worked. It worked for him, so that's pretty cool. Playing Monster Reborn, 1 upstart, 39 card deck, very cool. Yep, not too many hand traps though. So, lots of hand traps in the sideboard. Top 8, we got a Branded Despia. This looks fairly standard, nothing too crazy. Just 3 hand traps in the main board, including the Mercurier. It's 4. Got the Allure though. We're playing 1 Mercurier, 3 Tragedy with the Allure. No Gold Sark though. Okay, side deck pretty standard. Top 8. This is not Dragon Link, but they called it Dragon Link. This is like Chaos, Phantom Knight, Orcust, Danger, Dragon Link pile. Yeah, whatever. I don't know. It's really cool. It's a jumbled mess of a deck, but it's a very cool jumbled mess of a deck, and I really respect it. Very big dragon. Oh, actually, this might be considered Dragon Link. There's a very big rocket package here. We're playing 6 rockets, 7 if you include abs in that, 8 if you include this thing, which it is. That's kind of crazy. Surprised they're playing that. The caliber, but yeah, very cool. I do like this deck because you can abuse E-Telly and Rocket and Quick Launch. These are just like 2 of the best cards. Cards like this are just absolutely insane. So very cool. This deck's going to get better when we get the Deer Note, whenever that might be. Siding Maxi, there's no way. 2, 5. You're playing 5 hand traps in 60 cards. And it worked. Okay. I'm a little depressed, but we're just going to move on now. That makes no sense to me. Shout out Victinium, this is one of my teammates. Top 8 with Madolche. We got 2 Maxi, 1 Veiler, 1 Ghost Bell, 3 Ash Blossoms, 3 Imperms, 3 Droplets. Lots of going second cards here. Very good. Alright, very standard, it looks like, for him. I think this is kind of the list he always plays. Some hand traps and stuff in the sideboard, nothing too crazy. Swordsoul Tenyi, and you guys should note that this is the first Swordsoul Tenyi that we have come across. That blows my mind. I do not know how that happened, but there's just not been many Swordsoul this week. This is like a pretty standard list, going very heavy on the package. Only 1 Taya. That is bold with 3 Desires. That is bold. That's crazy. I'm surprised you're playing 2 Ecclesia, not playing 2 Ecclesia, 2 Taya, which I think is a little bit more standard. I think 3 Ecclesia is really good, but I don't think 1 Taya is good. I think 1 Taya is incorrect. Maybe even drop off a Shuda or something, but whew, that's bold. That's risky. You're playing the Draco Masters in the extra. That's kind of cool. Okay, so this, hello, I'm Shadow Master, and I'm here to say that Scareclaw Tri-Brigade is a good deck, but please don't copy that exact build. It's a scuffed version. I wish I could play 2 Link 1s, 2 field spells, but I am broke right now. That's fair. It's a very expensive engine. Okay, so he's saying another field spell is good, and another Link 1 is good. Okay, that makes sense. I think 1 to 2 of this is probably correct. 1 to 2 of this is probably correct. I don't know if you necessarily need 2 of this, because after you resolve it once, you're probably going to be in the driver's seat, at least, enough to be in a good position. But wait, can this add any Scareclaw? No, you can't add any Scareclaw spell or trap. So, how do you add this? Is this from the Vise of Starfrost? How do you get this to your hand? I don't know exactly. That might be Rykard. Alright, sorry guys, I do not know how to get the other spell to your hand. But if someone does know how to get the other spell to your hand, let me know in the comment section down below. Yeah, okay, so I do not know, again, how to get this to your hand, but if someone does, let me know in the comment section below. It's probably very simple and I'm probably just missing it, but not going to waste too much time on that. But yeah, just take those notes from the pilot as you will if you're interested in building a deck like this. It's a very cool deck. I'm considering testing it out. I knew it was good coming in, but I didn't know how good it would be. I kind of felt like, okay, Zodiac's still going to be the best version, but we'll see. Moving on to the final tournament this week, we got the Decade Meta Weekly number 39. 86 participants, single elim bracket, 1 deck, best of 3, no side deck, very important to note as per usual with this tournament. We got a top 16 breakdown here. We got 2 Adventure Phantom Knights, 2 Branded Despia, 2 Madolches, 2 Scareclaws, 1 Adamancipator, 1 Armed Dragon, shout out to that, that's awesome, 1 Dragon Link, 1 Eldlich, 1 Floowandereeze, 1 Pin Magician, 1 Salamangreat, 1 Spyral. Wow, very diverse. First place we got an Adamancipator. This is a 60 card grass version of the deck. It's very cool. Yeah, looks pretty standard, honestly, for 60 cards. It doesn't look anything too crazy. You're playing your power spells. You're playing all your extenders. You're playing all the stuff. Yeah, very cool. Adamancipator is a very neat deck. I like it a lot. It's also got Searchable Nibiru, which is really cool, off the granite. So, nice. Shout out to Block Dragon for being like one of the most broken cards ever printed. Like that card's insane. Second place, we got a Floowandereeze. That seems to be Floowandereeze's, thing, getting second place. Honestly, it's better than them winning, in my opinion. But yep, second place flew. We got 8 birds, not 9 in this situation. Got 4 tributes, playing the Apex as well as the 2 Inbin and the 1 Rise of. It's not standard, but it's also not standard. I feel like people are still trying to decide what's correct and what's not. There's no side deck, so it makes sense that you're maining the Dark Rulers. That's not too crazy. But you're playing 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 going second cards, quote unquote 10 going second cards. So that's really cool. This looks like a pretty standard list overall. I'm not going to spend too much more time on it. Then we got a top 4 Salamangreat. Lots of hand traps here. We got 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Only 12. Did I count that right? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep. 12 hand traps. A little bit lower than normal. Playing both traps. Not playing cross out. Playing the foul. Playing the Falco. It's not been super standard. Playing 3 desires. 3 sign and mining. 3 circle. That's very heavy on the consistency side. So, yeah, very cool. Baguska MVP in the extra deck, as always. Then we got a top 4 Adventure Phantom Knights with some danger stuff. I shouldn't say stuff. I mean, a danger. Just 1. Oh, you're also playing the Ragged, or the Stained Greaves. That's not standard. I think it might be standard for him, though. I feel like he always plays this list. Yeah, okay. Moving on. Nothing too crazy there. Top 4 Pendulum Magician. Playing Gamma on the main board. And Ashes. Are you playing the FTK? You are? Oh, some Valen stuff. Oh, very cool. Now, I don't know exactly how all this stuff works, but this is very cool that you're playing this. Nice. Beyond the Pendulum is here, so I do think this is standard. I don't know why the other list was not playing it, but maybe they just didn't get it or something. I don't know. But I do think Beyond the Pendulum should probably be in the list. At 1 or 2 copies. Top 8, we got a Madolche. Shout out Victinium. Once again, my teammate. I think this is the exact same list, The 1 Veiler, 2 Maxi, 3 Ash, 1 Bell, the Pank, the Droplets, the Imperms. Yeah, this looks like the exact same list, unless I'm mistaken. Nice. Then we got a top 8 Madolche, another Madolche. We got 1 Maxi. I don't understand that. 2 Gammas, 3 Ash, 1 Pank. Okay, cool. You can see, these lists don't change that much going on. This guy's playing, obviously, a different list, but not that much different. We got a top 8 Adventure Phantom Knights. This has a few dangers in it. This looks like a very similar to this one we just saw, but just modified a little bit. All right, very cool. Moving on to top 16, we got a branded Despia here, hand traps, and a lure. Oh, excuse me. Sorry for the yawn. We got Lightning Storms in the main board, Droplets, Super Positive, a lot of going second cards. Okay, cool. What is missing here? I feel like something's missing. I just don't know what it is. Whatever. There's something missing. I just don't know what it is. Something, well, not missing, but that's not super standard. We got a top 16 Dragon Link, 2 Synchron, 1 Recharger, 3 Tracer. I mean, this guy got top 16, so shout out to him. But this is incorrect in my opinion. I don't think there's ever a world where you play 2 Synchron over 2 Recharger. I can see a world where you play 3-2-2, which is what I have been playing for a while until recently. But you need 2 Rechargers in the deck, because you just need 2 Rechargers in the deck. This is in a 60 card version, at least. Like in a 40 card version, you can get a buy with 1 and 1, but I don't think this is correct. Lances in the main board has been gaining popularity. Red MD, but no, the little red eyes. It's not that crazy. This is good. Extension. You can summon it off of Pisty. You can summon it off Pisty. You can do a lot. You can do a lot with this. You can also summon it. You can summon it off of Seal and then just have follow up later by summoning back off Pisty. There's a lot you can do. It makes sense. It's not as crazy as it looks, but I think you probably should play the little red eyes if you're going to play this. You're playing 2 Noctos, so a lot of extension here. 3/3/3 is pretty standard. 2 Talons. Extra deck looks kind of pretty standard. You're playing the 2. No IP. It's a little weird you're not playing IP with Unicorn, I will say, but, it works. It works. Okay. You're still on the Zombie Vampire. Okay, cool. Top 16, we got Armed Dragon, Infinite Negate combos. This deck's really cool. I just wish it was better. I wish we had like 3 Tempest. This deck would be like actually pretty interesting then. But for those of you who don't know, sorry again for the yawns. This is just like a rank 7 deck where it turbos out this and then Auroradons and then does like all sorts of infinite combo stuff. Really wild. Wait, does it not Auroradon? Wait. It does an Auroradon. Okay, I'm wrong then. That's pretty cool. But it does set up an infinite negate with like the Union Carrier and the Thunderbird and the Apex Avion. So we got top 8 Scareclaw Tri-Brigade. This looks kind of normal. Yep, so he's playing the 2 and the 2. So I guess that is correct. We got top 16 branded Eldlich. Oh yeah. This is the best deck in the game, guys. I love me some branded Eldlich. Yeah, okay, we're gonna move on from that. Top 16 Spyral, Danger Spyral. Okay. With the Union Carrier lock. Nothing too insane. You're going for the Appointer off of the Send, off of Curious, set back with a Griffin. Very cool. Nice combo. Very clean. This is just an extension build, you know. I think you can make the argument that you can just like cut down like on 5 dangers and just play 40 cards. But like this also works too. So, we got top 16, just a pure Scareclaw. This is really cool. It's just like a link climbing version of it. I guess they can synchro too with the Vise of Starfrost. It's very neat. But yeah, very cool list. Top 16 branded Despia. Okay, the Allure build with the Gold Sark, with the Mercarrier, with the branded sword. Nice. Lightning Storm, Super Polys. Very cool. All right, guys, that's going to do it. I'm just going to jump back up here to this little breakdown. Very long thing, breakdown. And I'm just going to really quickly go over the first place, second place, top 4, top 8, top 16 decks, just to like run it back real quick. First place, we had 1 Adamancipator, 1 Virtual World, 1 branded Shaddoll, 1 branded Despia, and 1 Adamancipator. For second place, we had 2 Floowandereeze, classic, 1 Pendulum Magician, 1 branded Fairy Despia, 1 Adventure Phantom Knights. For top 4, we had 1 Adamancipator, 1 Floowandereeze, 1 branded Despia, 1 Water Combo, that deck is sick, 1 Virtual World, 1 branded Despia. Okay, so I lied. There's 2 branded Despia in the top 4, 1 Scareclaw Tri-Brigade, 1 Marincess, 1 Salamangreat, and 1 Adventure Phantom Knights. For top 8, we had 1 Pendulum Magician, 3 Madolches, 2 Adventure Phantom Knights, sorry about that, 1 branded Despia, 1 combo pile, that was the Dragon Link combo thingy, that was the Adventure Orcust stuff, 1 Swordsoul, the only Swordsoul that topped any tournaments this week. Wild. Top 16, we had 2 branded Despia, 1 Dragon Link, 1 Armed Dragon, 1 Scareclaw Tri-Brigade, 1 branded Eldlich, 1 Spyral, and 1 pure Scareclaw. That's a pretty crazy week, to be honest with you. But I'm going to let you guys do with that what you will. Thank you guys so much for tuning in the video. Please be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. And I, of course, will see you in the next video. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace.